it's, it's just hard to break this habit. So I did some research and on when she found a partner, and then when she came back home, and by the way, she at that time, I'm saying she at that time when she was Wendy, but when I get to Jaden, I will say he. So at that time, she came home and she decided she wanted to finish school. So school was out, and so everything, she wanted to get her GED. And so did I. So we both studied, and we both went together and got our GEDs. Then after that, she went to college, and she finished college, which I am so proud of her for that. And like I said, I'm still saying her during the time she was Wendy. And then when this came up about she wanted to become a man, well, when she asked me about that, I just was in shock almost. I just said, "Oh Lord, am I going through this again?" And I was having a problem with it, but even though at the same time I was having a problem, but I'd made up my mind I will not go through with the way I went through what I went through before. I will not lose my child, and so I started doing some research on the transgenders, and I was during the time that she was coming up, and I was just never educated enough to know what was going on in her mind. And I wish that I was educated, but it never came up. And if I had any idea back then, I would have did some research and tried to be educated on this. But now that I've did the research, I understand what's going on with her, with him. And if I had only known that he was hurting so much in his body as a girl, I would have agreed for him to do this years ago, because everyone deserves to be happy. And if you're not happy in your own body, how can you expect anybody else to be happy for you? I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but if you're not happy in your body, then you're wasting a lot of time in your life, and you need to do something. In other words, do not live your life like he did. He would have done this a long time ago, but he thought he would hurt me, her dad, and her brothers. And which it did hurt, but we all love him enough to come around. And I've come a long way. And I think her dad's starting to come around, and one of her brothers. And the other brother, I'm not sure about it yet. But I know his life would have been so much easier and simpler if he could have lived as a female, as the way he was born. And so, but why would you want to go through all this pain to live this kind of life if you knew, if you just wanted, I'm trying to say that if I was, her mind's got to be a male for him to go through all this pain and all this hard trouble, to become a man. And because of hurting the family, he loves his family more than anything. And he loves all of us so much. And he's always put us before him. And so it's time for him to put his feelings, for him first now. I'm putting my feelings to the side, for him. And I'm doing a lot of research, and I'm learning a lot. I'm being very well educated. Now, if this had not come up about him wanting to be a transgender, I would have never done any research. Would have no reason to, because I don't know anybody that's ever done it. I've never met anybody that's ever been a transgender. I've never, no one in my family. So now that it's kind of come to me, I've got no choice. And I would much rather have him with me as a man than not have him at all. And I know her dad feels that way, and her brothers, but they just don't realize that yet. I mean, they do, but yet it's taken them a little while to come around. And when I first started calling him Jaden, now that was hard after 40 years. And so now, one day I wrote down, Jaden Kane, Jaden Kane, Jaden Kane. And I just wrote it down over and over and over to try to get that name in my mind. So when he calls, I would say Jaden. And when I'm talking to him. So what did I do? I called him that day, could not get a hold of him. And his partner answered the phone. And I said, hey, Christy, where's Wendy? I can't get her on the phone. So that was just a habit. And I didn't do that on purpose. It just came out. After I wrote Jaden Kane, Jaden Kane, Jaden Kane. So now on my phone, I took Wendy K off and I put Jaden Kane down. So when you call, it's Jaden Kane. And I'm just saying Jaden Kane a lot now, so it's sticking in my head. And also now, Jaden's looking more like a man, looking more like his brothers than ever. And so it's making it easier on me to say Jaden now. But one thing that he has helped me a lot with is that he still called me every day as his voice was changing. And he still came around. And it was like when you're pregnant, your baby is developing and you're loving that baby before it's born. And as Wendy was leaving little by little, Jaden was coming in little by little, replacing Wendy, instead of like Wendy being thrown out to the curb and Jaden just coming right in and take her place. So it was easier on me by being around him and going through this process and watching Jaden come in little at a time, just like when the baby's starting to crawl or walk or whatever. You know, you're learning to love him as all this process is complete. And you know, and then when it's just like me, I know I'm gaining a son, but I know it's the same person, but he's still got that same big heart, and I love him with all of my heart. And he's got a big heart. Always have, and always put other people before himself. So, but I am being supportive, and I just hope everyone come around for him because he deserves to be happy. And once he's sober, once he's complete, and he's starting to be a little more happy now, I can tell. But like I said, he does not know that I'm making this video. And if there's any parents out there that love their children, please do some research so you can understand what's going on in their mind. And I'm so glad that I did. So, but I'm going to give this video to him when I get through, and I'll let him, if he wants to put it on his channel, that's fine. But I'm just hoping that I can help someone out there, because her dad's going to be, I would like for her dad to come around the same as I did, but he's not the type person to do research. But maybe we'll help him through this somehow. And anyway, love goes a long way. And Wendy, excuse me, I'm still saying Wendy every now and then, so I have asked her if I say Wendy all of a sudden, then, oh, excuse me, you know, it's just hard to change that, but I am trying. And I don't do it on purpose. I really don't, because I know it's Jaden now, and it's Jaden Kane. That's what he wants to be called, and that's what I'm going to call him. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make him happy. And that's it. And thanks a lot.